Dale for a bit, who's a Bulls fan, doing it. So we've done all right there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And actually, the other thing that this advert did was meant that people started re-showing the footage of when Johnny Vegas played in Kieran Cunningham's testimonial. Was it Kieran Cunningham's testimonial? Someone's testimonial. Did you ever see that video?
Yeah.
And that's hilarious too.
Well, he had an interview in 4020 a couple of months back as well.
Right.
A couple of issues back,
Oh,
which talked about all that as well.
Yeah. Big thumbs up for Johnny. So that's loads and loads of different bits of feedback. If you want to get involved as a listener, how can they go about doing that, Mark?
Yeah, so just a reminder for all those people out there, and then for anyone new, this is how you get in touch with us. So on Twitter, it's @SuperLeaguePod. On Facebook, and we want more people to like our Facebook page to encourage us to use it a bit more. Only at the moment, only the basics go up.
Yeah.
But it's facebook.com/SuperLeaguePod.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to email us for something a bit longer, like Chris did there, it's superleaguepod@gmail.com, the email address. And then don't forget the Google form for the match reviews. But
and we're at Super League Pod on Instagram as well. So as we start going to things like the World Club Series and stuff, I'll take some pictures and we'll put those up and
not forget that.
Make a bit more use of it when we go to games and stuff.
From my phone because I don't use it.
That's all right. I'll when we go to games and stuff. When I don my Sharks apparel in a few weeks' time, we'll put some pictures up there as well. Right, let's take a look now at news from around the world of rugby league. So, to news then from around the world of rugby league. It happened a few weeks ago, but this week St Helens have confirmed that scrum half Matty Smith broke his leg during their friendly win against Widnes. The 29-year-old has undergone an operation and will be assessed after the next 4 weeks have gone by, but he will definitely miss the start of the Super League 2017. So, not a great start for Saints' new halfback, and they're going to have to do some shuffling round, aren't they?
I think it's a big blow. I think it's a big blow. I think he was crucial to what this team can do, and whether they can actually do something off the back of the sort of platform that they're going to lay. And in terms of the difference between being a competitive side that can defend their own goal line well and can make meters to a team that might be able to find the killer blow to win a game. I think Matty Smith was going to be a crucial part of that difference with the game-winning drop goal prowess he's shown over the years. Yes, well, hopefully he keeps his powder dry for the World Cup final, as you alluded to a couple of weeks ago, Mark. There you go, that's my tip.
That's it. Huddersfield Giants head coach this week, Rick Stone, has named Leroy Cujo as the Claret and Gold captain for 2017. Huddersfield-born Cujo has spent his whole career with the Giants and most recently cleaned up at their 2016 end-of-season awards, winning Supporters and Players Player of the Year. Ryan Hinchcliffe, Danny Brough and Michael Lawrence have all been named vice-captain, so they're going with like a leadership team. And Cujo said, "It's great to be named captain and a very proud moment for me in my career. It was a shock when Rick asked me, but it was something I've been keen on doing, and it's even better that it's my hometown club, a place where I grew up and lived." Good for him.
He's a brilliant player.
Do you think he can be an effective captain?
It'll be interesting to see, because certainly by example, I mean, when you look at his performances as a player, he ranks. He has some of the best individual performances of any centre in the Super League era. And last season he was absolutely outstanding in a bad side. In fact, they would have struggled to finish 12 out of the 12 sides without Cujo.
Possibly so. I think
he was that much of a difference to their average performance to his performance last year. So I think that's why he's a man who can lead by example.
I think that's key, by example.
He has passion and stuff, but his passion doesn't overspill into mouthing off at referees and getting himself sin bin. So maybe that's a positive step as well.
Possibly so, and that would allow Danny Brough particularly time to concentrate on his own game rather than having to speak to the refs if Cujo's doing that slightly more diplomatically.
Yes, exactly.
Than he does. Bradford Bulls this week have completed month-long loan deals for 4 Leeds Rhinos players. Jordan Lilly, who was a regular for the Rhinos last year, will be joined by Sam Hallis, Josh Jordan-Roberts and Mikolaj Olejki at Odsall as the Bulls boost their ranks ahead of the season. We're really pleased to announce a close collaboration with Leeds Rhinos that has enabled us to bring in some players with Super League experience, said Bradford co-owner Andrew Chalmers. I'd like to thank Gary Hetherington for the help he has given us, and we look forward to continue to develop this relationship that benefits all stakeholders. Rhinos CEO Hetherington said, "We have a dual registration agreement with Featherstone Rovers which works extremely well. That is unaltered. However, we are looking to support Bradford Bulls where we can, both through their rugby department and off the field as well." So, short-term stuff for a month. Very, very grateful, really, very happy, especially when Jordan Lilly came in. He's a very talented young player. I'm led to believe from what I saw on Twitter and the tiny bit I heard on the radio that he was pretty flawless against Hull KR at the weekend in terms of his own contribution. His kicking was pinpoint, and he did everything he's come in to do. The one of these that I'm excited to see just playing more rugby league is actually the big Polish lad Olejki. I think he could be quite special as the years go on.
He certainly needs some help in the pack. I don't know if a bunch of teenagers is going to.
We've got to cut our cloth, Mark. It's at least we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, being a Leeds feeder club is a new reality, isn't it?
Of course it is. But no, I mean, you're making these jokes to take the piss, Mark. But this is the new reality that you find yourselves in. I mean, I'm going to cheer the Bulls on any less, and if we're helping them develop some of their youngsters and benefit in the process, then fair play. But we'll get to the opening round of the Championship in a little while. We did, of course, get some feedback on this because I think the thing that made this stand out was the fact that Jordan Lilly's come on for a few weeks with us.
The star of last year's England. Sort of middle of the season, people talking him up massively. We both tipped him to star again this year, and is going to be doing it in the Championship by all.
It was kiss the badge for the Bulls on Saturday, although to be fair, I think it was his mates that sort of made him do it. Okay, but the thing
is that true?
He didn't really kiss the badge. He didn't walk up to the fans and kiss the badge. I think there was pals of his that sort of lifted the badge up, pushed his head down in it, and they got the picture of him kissing the badge, but it wasn't actually him kissing the badge. So, fear not, Leeds fans.
A couple of Leeds fans got in touch. Colin Rendery said, "Getting Lilly is pretty big for Bradford. He's probably too good for the Championship, but good for him to get game time." Dom Hodgson had a slightly different view. He said he deserves Super League time. That's the only way he will grow. Paul Michael Craig came in with a neutral's view. He said, "Makes me think Leeds are trying to help the Bulls so they can get their derby back."
Well, maybe so. The only thing I would say about this is, as much as I'm grateful that, and it's exciting to see a player like Jordan Lilly in a Bulls shirt, it does say to me that he's fourth in the queue with Corey Aston in front of him then at Leeds on the basis of pre-season, and that's slightly surprising from my point of view. But game time and the opportunity to freshen up might improve his situation when he returns. And I don't think he'll be with us all season by any stretch. So let's have it as a little brief highlight.
Whilst other things get sorted out and the club can start to think more long term, maybe.
Precisely, absolutely. Halifax have this week swooped to sign Australian prop Alex Mamone on a 1-year deal with a further option to contract him into 2018. He stands at 6'4" and has previously ended a 3-month trial with the London Broncos, joining Halifax amid several other offers. "I'm very excited," Mamone said. Man, a few words. Lee Centurions have parted company with fullback Lee Smith by mutual consent. Smith, who is only 30, despite apparently having played rugby league for about the last million years, was part of the Lee side that earned promotion to Super League last year, scoring 12 tries in 23 appearances.
Strong talk then is that
Sheffield
Curtis Norton's going to be coming in on loan to Lee, because now James Clare's picked up an injury, so it does seem a bit of a strange time into that, but that'll reduce the average age of the squad by and you got to think that behind McNally, Mitch Brown, and McNally's injured as well, isn't he?
Well, he was injured. Is he still injured?
Yeah.
That was the whole reason Lee Smith came into the Centurion side, was that injury to McNally, wasn't it?
No, McNally got injured again in
he's now injured at this season. Yeah. Well, there's Mitch Brown. Well, who knows? But I mean, he's a bit of a porker as well. I don't think he's had the best.
Lee Smith.
Yeah, I think he's packed it on a bit. I don't think you get a lot of 16.5 stone fullbacks these days. He's maybe
doesn't seem like he's in Super League shape, but Championship maybe is his level. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, which
Bradford have distanced themselves from any rumour linking them with signing him. Not the type of player they're looking for.
Well, there you go.
So we'll see.
We'll see how we do. He's not anywhere near enough young enough for us.
No.
He's not currently playing. He's traded someone's under 16s, that's why. Sticking with Bradford, though, former Bulls prop. Do we call him former Bulls? Oh, he did play for us once. Phil Joseph has signed with Workington Town for the 2017 season. Elsewhere at Workington, Wigan Warriors have announced that Kyle Shelford and Macaulay Davies will join the Cumbrians on season-long loans, although both players have callback clauses in their contracts, which mean that they can both be called back at short notice should an injury situation occur. Good opportunity for both young men to go and...
I think so. Neither of them are quite ready for Super League yet. Both of them got games last year, and I'm sure Wayne wouldn't worry about throwing them into the fray if he had to again this year, but they need to get game time playing against men, and the reserves have 8 or 9 fixtures. It's just not enough for these boys.
Absolutely not.
Good luck to them.
Okay,
I like the look of Davies. I like the look of him. Yeah.
Good. What position does he play?
Well, back row or centre, really.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Ben Barber will be allowed to play rugby union in France despite a drugs ban in rugby league. Barber, who's a full-back and aged 27, was given a 12-match ban by the NRL after testing positive for cocaine. Last Tuesday, he swapped codes to join top 14 side Toulon, but will only face sanction if he returns to rugby league. Barber failed a drugs test just days after winning the grand final with Corolla Sharks in October. His contract with the club was terminated, but he then agreed a new deal with the Sharks in December. However, that deal has not been ratified by the NRL and he's now moving to France. Ben does not have a contract with the NRL, so he's free to make a decision to play in a different code with a new club, said NRL CEO Todd Greenberg. The match suspension he needs to serve will only begin after he has completed his playing commitments elsewhere. He added his main concern was whether the player would be taking appropriate courses and programs as part of his rehabilitation, which is one of the things that we touched on when we were talking about this when it first happened at the back end of last season. Was he made a big thing about, I'm going to get my life back on track, I'm going to look after myself and my family, and how easily will he access that?
I'm going to France and running away from my responsibility.
Hanging out with Semi. Is Semi up there yet?
No, he's going after this season to France.
There you go. House hunting for Semi then.
I
can live together. It's not impressive.
It's baffling how a player can get banned in one sport for misdemeanours and then just walk over to another sport and...
like nothing's happened.
Yeah.
It doesn't smack of someone who's taking responsibility for his actions, although I appreciate the desire to earn money and play rugby, but then live your life right and make the proper decisions.
Yeah, no one's got a God-given right to, or whatever, to play rugby league or any sort of rugby or any sort of sport professionally, and it kind of just... sticks in the craw. It just doesn't feel right when someone can go and behave poorly and then just walk off and act like it was the league's fault that he got banned and that sort of stuff. It doesn't feel right to me.
No, not right. Away from that then and back up north into the Northern Hemisphere, the second round for the Challenge Cup draw was made this week with 16 clubs representing the community game drawn against one another and will play their ties this coming weekend over February the 11th and 12th. Feather Lions will take on West's Warriors. West Hull will run against Thatto Heath Crusaders. Haydock will play the Thornhill Trojans. Myton Warriors take on York Acorn. London Chargers will host the Friston Warriors. Kells take on Rochdale Mayfield. Pilkington Rex play Siddal. And Wigan St Pat's take on Cumbria's Egremont Rangers. Did you watch the Red Button game? You did, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It was enjoyable.
What was the calibre? What was the standard like? Was it good?
High, but we're talking about... Lee Miners have been grand finalists for the last couple of years at the national conference level, and Wigan St Pat's are there or thereabouts. The heritage of that club in terms of the players that can produce for a start is right up there. There was players for both sides who've been on Super League books along the way, so it wasn't surprising. It was a good standard.
Excellent. Entertaining stuff. And finally, a rugby league loving Scotsman is willing to back a Scottish professional team with £25,000 a year of his own money. The anonymous businessman believes that the game needs help to put down proper roots north of the border. following the national team's performance at the Four Nations last year. The investor believes that choosing the right location for any club is vital. Although the Borders has rugby history and is close to Cumbria, Aberdeen has oil wealth and a recent rugby league pedigree, as well as an airport. He went on to say, I will be prepared to put in 25 grand a year, but it's about putting down roots. You need the right business plan and the right people. I'm ready to contribute to that, but I don't want to lead it, and then should there be more... I've lost myself completely. I'm ready to contribute to that, but